Hello, good evening, and welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation Live with me, your host, Owen, the channel that brings you your team every single day, guys. We are here to obviously look a little bit back at Thursday night and obviously look forward to the game tomorrow against Livingston in West Lothian at the Tony Macaroni Spaghetti Bolognese Stadium, or whatever the hell it's called these days. We've got some people in the live chat already. Aldo says, can't wait for tomorrow. Come on, Rangers. Fantastic, Aldo. Absolutely 100% agree with you. Hate playing on Sundays, lol, especially that pitch, but trust in Clement's Bears. Aldo, no one likes playing Sundays. Football was meant to be played on a Saturday, wasn't it? We all know that. Albert's the legend says, hello all. Stuart is in the live chat as well. Stephen Moorhead says Jack Butland is the next Andy Gorham. High praise indeed, Stephen Moorhead. High praise indeed. Good evening, Owen and all the teddy bears in the chat. Hope everyone is keeping well. Good evening to one of our channel members, loyal channel members, regular contributors, John. Fantastic to have you here, John, this evening. The spaghetti hand. I like that. It's Albert's the legend with the spaghetti hand. Well, look, it's been an interesting week, hasn't it? Obviously, Thursday night was the Europa League. We build obviously towards tomorrow's game. Now, before we actually look back at Thursday and we look at obviously next week, this Sunday, we've obviously got to think that after tomorrow. The international break starts, another international break, another boring international break. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm frustrated. I don't want another international break. I'd rather watch more Rangers. We've just got to a point where we've started playing well. It's like that series, when you're watching a TV series, a box set, and it gets that really good bit, and it's just getting good, and you've got to go to bed because you're tired, and it's 1 o'clock in the morning, and you've got work the next day. It's getting like that, isn't it? It's just getting good. It's just getting exciting. It's just improving, and then we've got to stop because we've got an international break. Boring, absolutely boring. But we've got to try and get through that international break. But rest assured, here on Glasgow Rangers Nation, we will bring you all the latest news, views, and updates throughout the international break, bringing you your daily fix of Rangers. Because look, we need to have that, don't we? We can't just not talk Rangers during the international break, or we'll all go absolutely mental. I know I will absolutely lose it. But anyway, so Thursday night. What did you make of Thursday night? I thought first half. I thought that was probably one of our best performances this season. Some outstanding football. We were on it from the first minute till the 45th, 6th, 7th, whatever it was in the end. Passing, movement, fast, aggressive. 2 fantastic goals. Could have been 3, 4, 5 by half time. It really could have been out of sight by half time. Just like a shooting boot, wasn't it? Again, Danilo gets his goal. I don't think any of our other strikers get that goal because I don't think any of them have got the pace, the ability, the talent to get after players the way that he did and press them and get that ball back and then have the composure to slot it away. And Todd Cantwell, what a finish from Cantwell. How many players would have just gone smash with their right foot? No, Todd's got time. He's got composure. He rolls his right foot over the ball, takes it to his left, curves it round, and the cheer and the inaudible crowd noise was incredible from the crowd on Thursday night. Can I just say one thing? On Thursday night, I thought our fans were absolutely bloody amazing. Even when Harrislin, or whatever he was called, scored that goal, did you hear the response from the crowd? There was no moans, there was no groans, there was no boos. It was pure get behind the boys, yell and shout and scream for the boys. And that's what it was. That's fantastic. That's exactly what we need at Ibrox. And I think Philippe Clement is right when he talks about that synergy between the fans and the players returning, and the synergy between the team and the fans been there and been better. And I think we saw that on Thursday night. Even with the frustrations of the second half where Sparta played a lot better and created chances, there wasn't a frustration there. There was a constant support, a constant noise, a constant backing of the team. And that for me was absolutely superb. Stuart says, put even more pressure on the monkey mob before they're playing, get closer and closer. Love Clement. Blue Nose says as well, how much better we'll be after Big Phil gets more time to spend with the squad. I agree with you absolutely, Blue Nose. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I suppose the worry is the fact that during the international break, obviously players will go off. I think it's Jack and McCrory will be off with their nations. There'll be other players. I think Seema, if Senegal are playing, will be away. So we will lose some players. But yeah, good to gives Clement more time to work with the international during the international break, and to get players back and fit. Obviously talking about Suter there, Raskin. In particular, getting those guys back and fit, ready for after the international break. Aldo says, Clement has brought back the feeling of actually looking forward to watching us tomorrow. Hope I've not cursed us now. Aldo, I hope you haven't, buddy. But no, you're right, Aldo. I remember at the start of the season under Michael Beale, thinking about the game and just going, well, I've got to watch the game because I'm a Rangers fan and I don't miss our games and I watch our games and I love the team and I'll always support the team no matter what. But it's crap. It's boring. It's awful. It's dire. I'd rather fall asleep. But you've got to support them. But you're right. Clement's brought back that love for the team again and a real faith in them because look, I know fans have a lot of responsibility for getting behind the team, but you for that equal moment, you've got to have the team giving you something as well. And now they are giving us something, and that's fantastic. The other side of the city are getting concerned about how well Big Phil is doing, says Blue Nose John. Absolutely, John. 100% agree with you. Albert says, is there anyone we don't risk on that pitch tomorrow? The thing I'd say, Albert's legend, is the fact that at least we've got time after tomorrow to give the players time to rest, time to recuperate. So, Aldo's right, the whole team. Yeah, it's a risk for anybody. It's a risk for everybody. So, look, it's just going to be that way. You've got to play your best team tomorrow, and we'll talk about that why in particular in a short while. This is how good Clement is with Beale's team. Think how he's going to be once he gets his own signings, says Stuart. Yeah, I agree, Stuart. I agree, buddy. 100%. Once he gets his own players, once he gets some more players in, and there's talk about 2 or 3 arrivals in January. And obviously in the summer, we'll look at bringing in more players. But look, at the end of the day, it is a lot depends, I think, as well on who we get as the director of football. I mean, there's been lots of names linked there. So obviously, I honestly think we could see an announcement during the international break as to who the new director of football is. I think if you look back at the last international break, that's when Clement was appointed. So I do think it will be a case of the fact that it will be during this international break, we could well see a director of football appointed. Lots of names linked. Alex Inglethorpe, Stuart Webber, for example, just a few names that have been linked. So I do think that we may well see a director of football appointed during this international break. Hopefully someone who will help support and help Philippe Clement to develop his team. Blue Nose says, the Spaghetti Had is normally a venue where Tav performs well. He is. Free kick, good score. Wrestling Activity says Archive, says hi Wrestling Archives. Rangers Bears 72 says hello everyone. Hello Rangers Bears. Blue Nose John says, who would you like as director of football, Owen? Now, Blue Nose John, if I would look, it's a difficult question, that, John, because if money was no object, there's a whole host of people I'd love to have. Bagheera Stein, for example, something like that. But of the people who are out of work at the moment, if we could get anyone of those who are not currently in a job, Paul Mitchell for me would be the best appointment. Paul Mitchell has worked with the Red Bull clubs. He's worked with Spurs. He's worked in Monaco. He's worked with Clement previously, and it wasn't him that sat Clement before anybody says. So Paul Mitchell would be my choice. I think he's damn good at what he does. The other possibility, I actually like Stuart Webber. I think Stuart Webber's a decent candidate as well. He helped Norwich get promoted to the Premier League twice, and Norwich are not a big club, and they're not a very rich club either. So, he's someone who has got them promoted by finding good quality players. Timu Pukki, Todd Cantwell. Obviously, he found him as well. Gabriel Sarah. I can't remember the guy's name is now, who plays for them at the moment. He attracted managers like Daniel Farker, who's doing a fantastic job at Leeds. So, he's another possibility. Paul Mitchell's my favourite, John. And then I think Stuart Webber is my second after that. We've got Ian McKee in the live chat. At the match on Thursday, I gave Lammers a bit of stick, but watching it back, he had a really good game. I'd love to get your opinions on this. Look, I'd love to get your opinions on what you think of Sam Lammers. I'm worried. I watched the game, and I'm not going to say he's awful. I'm not going to say he's terrible. I'm not going to say he's garbage. But he's not doing enough for me to justify the money we paid for him and him starting ahead of other players. Now, if you look at Thursday night, for example, Ross McCausland came on, and Ross McCausland did more in the 15, 20 minutes he was on than Sam Lammers did in the entire game. Tom Lawrence as well, when he came on against Hearts in the semi, he did more in that 15, 20-minute cameo than Lammers did in the entire game. Yes, Lammers worked hard. Yes, he ran around a lot. Yes, he played a couple of decent passes, but I heard, I can't remember who it was talking about him and saying that for every 10 passes that he played, 2 were good and 8 were dreadful. So he did work hard and he did play some nice passes, but by that same token, he played a lot of bad passes and lost the ball a lot. And if you look at why he's in the team and he's playing in that 10 role instead of Cantwell, you're kind of thinking, does he deserve to be in there ahead of Cantwell? Does he deserve to be in there ahead of Tom Lawrence? Really? Is he doing more than them to keep his place? And for me, Ian, he just isn't. He isn't at the moment. Hello, Owen and Bears Posse. How are we all doing tonight? I'm good. Thank you very much, Ewan. John agrees with me on that. Stuart says Ian McKee must be watching different games because Lammers is terrible. Total a game of opinions, isn't it? We don't want to risk Jack Ryan for a start. I'd risk Roof past caring about his fitness, said Robert Robertson. Pretty much right. Sam Lammers is not good enough for Rangers. Owen, simple. I think Stuart, on balance, you're right. He isn't. Not when you look at the fact that we've got Tom Lawrence, we've got Todd Cantwell, Alex Lowry is doing so well at Hearts. Yanis Hadji is doing really well at Alaveth. All of those players are better players than him. And for me, when you bring in a new player, I'm very much old school in terms of the fact you only buy players who are better than what you've got. Not the same as what you've got or a little bit better. They're a lot better than what you've got. Now, the question I'd ask you and the question I'd ask a lot of Rangers fans is this. Is Sam Lammers a better player than Alex Lowry? Is he a better player than Yanis Hadji? And for me, the answer is no. If you said to me, you could have Lammers or Hadji tomorrow, who would you choose? I'd choose Hadji every day. Hadji's a better player. He's technically better. His passing is better. His shooting is better. His understanding of the game is better. He's just an all-round better player. Dave Atwood says he's going for 4-0 tomorrow. I'd take that, Dave. Gary says the manager must see something in him in training to keep picking him. While someone did say he must be like Kylian Mbappe in training. Justifying Sam Lammers by saying he does a lot of good stuff off the ball is a sign that he is nowhere near good enough for Rangers, says Carl. Carl, that's what we're saying. I think at the end of the day, you've got to kind of look at it, and that's what I kind of try to break down there, that for every 10 passes he plays, 8 are crap and 2 are good. You know, every blade of grass he covers running, what does he actually create? And the role he is in the team to play is a creative role. It's a 10. That's what he's there for. And like I said, you look at what we've got ahead of him in the squad at the moment. Tom Lawrence, Todd Cantwell, for me, are better players. Players that we've got out on loan who realistically we could recall in January. Lowry, Hadji, both better players than Lammers. You know, I don't know. Honestly, don't know. No pace, no energy. Everything he does is slower than a week in jail. Even turns slower than my ma, says Stuart. Pump Livy and hope the sheep pump the pedos. The only thing is, Callum, you know and I know they will not try anywhere near as hard against them as they do against us. We know that for a fact. We should put him out on loan and sell Roof. He's stealing Roof, I think, will be gone at the end of the season. £26,000 a week. If we can get something for him in January, then please do. I hope Lammers and Dessers have an all right season just so we can recoup our cash on them at the end of the season. We did pay a lot of money, Ewan, didn't we? We are playing him in the position of our best player and asking Cantwell to play right. That's what I'm saying, Kyle. That's the issue. We're asking other players to kind of move about and play in different positions because of him. And he's pushing Lawrence out wide. He's pushing Cantwell out wide. You know, we've obviously not got Hadji and Lowry anymore. They're out on loan. Is he better than them? No, he's not. Is he better in that 10 role than Lawrence? No. Is he better in that 10 role than Cantwell? No. So I don't understand why he gets picked when Cantwell does far more, as we saw last season. Then Lawrence, like I said, in that 20 minutes against Hearts, showed far more for me than he'd done in the whole game. Lammers needs to do more, played no bad on Thursday, but he's got a lot better with the players around him. They're a lot better than Lammers, agreed. Jeremy Goss, what we've got? Hadji and we've got a comment here from Dave says, get Hadji and Larry back in January. I agree. I'd love to get Yanis Hadji back in January. I think he would be. I think Clement would use him. I think Clement plays him for definite. 3-1 Kenneth Elliott's going for tomorrow. I think that's 3-1 to us. No bad. Can't wait for tomorrow. Hadji says, Dave, I think Lammers would already have been benched if Tom was fit. I think that's what John means. Apparently Kent's not having a great time in Fenerbahce. Any win with 3 points will do. Absolutely. I think Lammers would have been benched if Tom was fit earlier. Yep, I think you're right, Blue Nose. I think you're 100% right. Dinio hat-trick 5-0, says you, and I'd take that absolutely. RFC 72, good evening. How are you doing, buddy? My heart pumps piss for Kent, says Robert. No sympathy for Kent. Dineo is great along with Cantwell together. They've got to see developing a bit of an understanding, don't they, with each other. He doesn't get a game either, in my opinion. Cantwell will be the 10 when Clement gets a proper right winger. Very true. I think that's obviously something for January, RFC 72. But, you look at tomorrow at this, going into tomorrow's games. I mean, let's just pull up tomorrow's game, shall we? And have a look at what's happening tomorrow. So here is the table. Let's have a look at the games first of all. Okay, so let's pull this up on the screen for you. Put this back into the screen. Put this onto here. Let's see if I can get it up on the screen for you. Let's see if I can quickly pull up the games and the screen for you. It's just not cooperating at the moment. Do apologise with this. Add to stage. Is this going to work? Yes, it is. There we go. So, games today. Dundee beat St Mirren 4-0, which I think is a pretty amazing result given how well St Mirren have been doing recently. Hearts won at Motherwell. Apparently, Alex Lowry played exceptionally well in that game. 2-1 win for Hearts. Goals, as you can see, both goals from possible Rangers target Lawrence Shankland. But apparently, Alex Lowry was fantastic. Hibs won 1-0 against Kilmarnock. St Johnstone won 1-0 against Ross County. Now, tomorrow, we play first. Then they play against Aberdeen. Now, if you look at the table going into tomorrow's games, now the gap is starting to open again, isn't it, between second and third? That played for Celtic is wrong. It should be 11 games played for Celtic. I don't know why that says 12. But, you look at it. Actually, no, I should say 12 and 27 points. So the table is actually out of date on there. So that gap could come down to 2 points tomorrow. I mean, that would be incredible. If we can get the gap down to 2 points tomorrow, then it is going to be a situation where the pressure is going to be on them like we haven't seen in a long, long time. And we're going to have to see how do they react to the fact that they then will have to properly start looking over their shoulder and know that we are coming. And this is not a team that are going to quit, that are going to give up, that are going to surrender, that are going to just kind of do a usual Rangers thing, that when Celtic slip up, we then balls it up on the Sunday or balls it up about 2 hours later, because that's what we normally do, like last season when they slipped up against Motherwell, but then we went up to Todry and got beat. Look, Callum says here, the Sheep have them then us next week. If the Sheep get beat tomorrow, they'll be in the final next week for 3 points. We need to be ready. Absolutely. I think the problem we've got, buddy, going into this game is and I know that Celtic against Aberdeen, you know that the Aberdeen that you'll see tomorrow against Celtic will not be the same Aberdeen you will see against us. Okay. It will not be the same Aberdeen that turn up in that cup final. It will not be the same Aberdeen that turn up in the next league game against us. Aberdeen, and I don't mind saying this. And look, Barry Robson, if you're watching, because I know you love me and I know you love this channel, and Aberdeen fans, if you're watching as well, your players cheat you. Your players cheat you because they go out there against Rangers and they play 50% better than they play in any other game. They play 50% better than they play against Celtic. They play 50% more effort, 50% more talent when it's against us, because it's like their Champions League final. It's like their World Cup final. When they play against Celtic, they lay down and they die. They cheat on you. They're cheats. They're absolute cheats, and they're a disgrace. Absolute disgrace. RFC, how's the family? I'm real good, thank you. Good, buddy. All good, thank you. Absolutely. Ewan says in the live chat, been a tough 2 weeks. Although, I'm really sorry to hear that, Ewan. I hope she's feeling better soon, buddy. Sorry to hear that, buddy. I'll struggle. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It is that. Sorry, yeah, because we missed that game last week. Sorry, yeah, it'd be 5 points. I do apologise. Yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah, I was thinking about the table the previous week. So, yeah, it'll be 5 points, but it still means we'll be coming after them. Obviously, yeah, we have got a game in hand, KZ. I do apologise. I was thinking that they'd missed the game off. Champion would already be a Rangers player. Why we didn't go from in the summer, says Dave. Callum says, mate, be quick knockout. 2 heavyweights. The 2 quickest finish times will be good to watch. We've got here. Even if they're drawn, its 4-point pressure is still on. More Champions League humiliations, and they will crumble if not already. Apparently, George Kerr loves Rangers FC and Laura Connor. Thank you, Margaret, for that comment. I'm not quite sure that's a bit random out of left there. Bit random out of left field. We need to stop building up Aberdeen, Livy, Hearts, etc. They gash. We go there, we fight, and we win. Let's not complicate. Our mentality needs to change. Kyle, I think we're starting to see that. We're starting to see a change in mentality under Clement. Clement does not allow the players to rest on their laurels. He does not allow the players to think there's an easy game coming up. He just doesn't allow it. Now, apparently, he stopped the dancing of Danilo and Cantwell the other day because he said he doesn't want players to become complacent and think it's done and over-celebrate situations. He wants them to maintain focus. I honestly think, Kyle, that we are getting back to the soonest Rangers, the Rangers that don't give up, the Rangers that won't go to places like Livy, Kilmarnock or Aberdeen and go, oh, you know, it'll be a difficult game today because they'll do X and Y and Z. I think under Clement, we are starting to get back to that Rangers team that goes places and say, we are Rangers. We're coming here. We're going to play our football. We're going to smash you. And that's it. You just got to deal with it. And I think that is the best way forward. Absolutely best way forward. Yes, Ewan, wishing your missus all the very best. Tam says 4-0 tomorrow. Let's hope so. Too many Rangers fans fixated with Aberdeen. They're just provincial to me and no different from Dundee or St Johnstone. I agree. To me, it's not a rivalry. It's not a rivalry. It's a one-way rivalry. It's a rivalry their way. They build us up. They hype us up. To them, they have Rangers Week. You know, it's all about Rangers Week for them, and it's all about the Rangers game, and that's their big game. That's their cup final. Whereas we couldn't give a monkeys. There's only one game that matters to us in Scotland, and that's when we play that lot from across the city. That's our game. That's the rivalry game. That's the game that means something to us. This game is just another game. It's like you're right, Ara. It's just another game. It's as if we're playing Dundee, Wraith Rovers, Queen's Park, Partick Thistle. It's just another game. And we've got to treat it like that. And the players have got to treat it like that. Just another game. That's all it is. Anyway, let's get back to tomorrow. So tomorrow, obviously going up against Livingston, it is going to be a game where that pitch is going to play a part because at the end of the day, that pitch is awful. Plastic pitches are garbage. Plastic pitches are absolute garbage. They're just horrible. The bounce is unpredictable. The run of the ball is unpredictable. And Philippe Clement was right. Football should be played on grass. But he was right as well. And this was a different attitude than I think we heard from Michael Beale at the start of the season about Killy and their plastic pitch. You know, he said that I would go and play anywhere and I'd play in a car park if we need to. And we need to have that mentality. It doesn't matter where we play, whether it's a grass pitch, a plastic pitch, or in a car park. We go there to win. We go there to put our way of playing on them and to play our game. And that's what we've got to do tomorrow. Not worry about Livy, not worry about what type of team Livy are. You know, not worry about the fact that Davy Martindale's a good coach, or he's been trailed by St Johnstone. Woo, St Johnstone. Let's worry about us. Let's worry about what we've got to do tomorrow and how we're going to play tomorrow. Tam says Aberdeen will roll over like my wee Doug and have a tummy tickle at Parkhead. Absolutely, of course they will, Tam, and then they'll fight us all the way. I know it's early, but I genuinely feel Big Phil will be our best manager since Sir Walter, says Blue Nose John. I really hope you are right, buddy. I really hope you are right, Blue Nose John. Now, tomorrow for me, he's got to just go in with his strongest team. He's got to put out there his strongest team. I don't think it matters about the pitch. I don't think it matters about the conditions. I don't think it matters about how many games you've played to this point. We've got the international break coming up. It's 10 days off. You go in, you play your strongest team, you go out there and you take the game to them and you go after them, because this season we've already beaten Livy twice quite easily in the end. This is a team. This is not a good team we're playing. This team is nowhere near the level of Sparta Prague, and we outplayed Sparta Prague for 45, 50 minutes easily. We've got to do the same tomorrow. Play with the same threat. Play with the same aggression. A quick start, fast, quick passing. No dulling around with it at the back. No slow build-up, which we did against them at Ibrox in that cup tie. No hit and hope. It's got to be, for me, quick, direct, fast, aggressive passing. Move it forward from the back. Get it out wide to the wide men. Get them attacking and get them playing. And that's the way that that we could play. Now, what I'd love to know is, what do you think about tomorrow and this man here? Should this man start tomorrow? Should Ross McCausland have a run out tomorrow? Is he worthy of a game against Livy tomorrow? Now, I'm going to say this. I honestly think McCausland starts for me. You know, McCausland came on Thursday night, and for me, he looked like a breath of fresh air. He really did. He's put the ball through for Danilo that nearly put Danilo through. The shot that he had that was saved by the keeper's legs. The shot that he had that went over. He looked lively. He was a threat. He was creative. He played very well indeed. And I was really impressed with McCausland. For me, McCausland has to play tomorrow. I'd love to see McCausland get a game. I'd love to see him out there. I think this is the perfect opportunity to try and test him. You know, Livingston are not a good team. They're not Sparta Prague. They're not that lot across the city. They're not, you know, Real Betis. They're not Liverpool or Brighton or Ajax or any of those tough teams in the Europa League. They're Livingston. You know, they're down the bottom for a reason because they're not very good. So look, we need to, I think I'd love to see McCausland get his chance tomorrow. I think, you know, as Clement has said, you know, if you're old enough, if you're good enough, you're old enough. I want to see McCausland get a start. I think he's done more than enough to earn himself a start. And look, McCausland could save us a shed load of money. You know, instead of having to buy two wingers, we're going to have to buy one because McCausland could be an answer out there. He looks a cracking little player, a cracking talent. And he's full of enthusiasm. He's full of aggression. He's a quality player. And to be honest with you, I'd love to see Bailey Rice get a go. I don't think he will, but I'd love to see Bailey Rice get a go as well. Wait till Clement sets his eyes on the pitch. He'll grow hair. I'd love to do that. Back in the 90s, every Sunday I used to go to AstroTurf with sore legs, knees and arms. Yeah, I remember playing AstroTurf. Oh, that was horrible. Exactly, having controlled aggression, play with urgency and high press, and we win. McCausland instead of Lammers. Yes, and Campbell in the 10. Agreed. That sounds good. So I'm listening to this and just got movie on Dog Soldier. That's a hell of a combination all day. Me and Dog Soldiers. What a combination. There can't be any players at Livy and Killy that enjoys playing on that surface. Probably not. I don't know. Talking of dog soldiers, I've got a dog there. Look, he's there. He's asleep. There's my dog. There's my dog soldier. Yeah, I agree. There can't be. RM says McCausland could start and would do okay, but they've got to get his contract sorted first. Now, looking in the media, it is like there is a real pressure there, I think, to actually get that deal done. Clement is very anxious to get that deal done by all the reports that I'm hearing, that he wants to get McCausland signed up. He sees McCausland's having a big future and part of his plans from what I am reading. So I really do think that McCausland should be hopefully offered a new deal very, very soon indeed. Tomorrow, what would I like to see? Obviously, Jack Butland in goal. That's a given. That's a given. That's a given. Back four, Tav, Goldson will start because they always do. Plus, look, I know Tav's got his issues. I know Tav's not got... oh, my God, that's the sublimes, the ridiculous. Dog soldiers to love actually with the family, says John. Well, mate, I'm sitting here. I've spent another night with my dog. And that's it. It's just me and the dog and the kids. That's all I've got. On my own, divorced. I've got my two daughters, 13 and 15, Rebecca and Laura, who I love loads. I've got my dog Shadow, and that's it. Okay, that's me, buddy. That's me. So yeah. Anyway, back to the football. So yeah, I want to see Balogun back. If Balogun's fit, I'd love to see Balogun start. I think Davis didn't do anything wrong. Don't get me wrong on Thursday night, but neither has Leon Balogun. Leon Balogun hasn't put a foot wrong in the last couple of games. So I'd like to see Balogun back in. Ridvan at left back. I want to see Ridvan at left back. What I'll do is, as I say these, I'm going to type these and then I'll put up in the live chat my team. I'd love to know what your team is for tomorrow. So if you want to put your team in the live chat, then I'll bring it up on screen once I finish going through my team. So now Ridvan back at left back. I just think he'll offer more going forward. I think the more aggressive we are, the better. I think that will definitely be the case. I just think that the more attacking threat we can offer tomorrow, the more speed to get at Livingston on that pitch, and you know, in the way they'll play tomorrow, the way they'll set up tomorrow, the better for us. Then I would go with Lundstrom, and I would actually put in there Cifuentes. I want to see Cifuentes have a game. I want to see how he does. See if he's back. See what influence. See what influence Big Phil's had over him. He did start for his country in the last international break. So at the end of the day, I want to see what Cifuentes has got. We can always take him off, put on someone else in there, Kieran Dowell, maybe, if it's not working out. And then in terms of the three behind the main striker, I want to see McCausland on the right, Cantwell as a 10, and Seema on the left. Seema's been absolutely fabulous. He has been superb. I mean, he ran the Sparta Prague fullback absolutely ragged on Thursday night, and he's got the talent and the skill to do that. And like I've said on previous videos, I just think he'll end up costing us too much money. I really do. And then Danilo up front. Okay, that's my team anyway. That's my team for Thursday. It's in the live chat now if you want to have a look at it. Robert Binney says same team as Thursday to start with. So Robert, are you starting Lammers? Is that what you're saying? Are you starting Lammers? Big Jack should wear a cape. It'd be so funny. He is our Superman. Talking about Jack Butland, says Tam. Blue Nose says, find yourself a good German lady to look after you. And I'll try, buddy. I'm not very successful at that, buddy. Not very successful. Aldo says, what use think of Lundstrom, sell or keep? Look, I think Lundstrom's improved. I think he has. Do I think he'll be given a new deal? I don't know. I think he might be because of the way that Philippe Clement has been talking about him. Philippe Clement's been talking about the fact that he sees him as part of the senior management in terms of the players with Tav and Goldson. The only thing I'd say is there comes a time when players become stale. There comes a time when players need to be regenerated. Philippe Clement in his past management positions has never really stuck with the same set of players. He's always refreshed and changed his squads to keep the hunger there. So I would sell him. I would sell him and move him on because I think he's been here long enough and I think it's time to change. Tam says, Lundstrom looking lean and fit and much more dynamic. It's great for him and Rangers. Same team from Thursday, but swap Borna for Ridvan and start McCausland as presumably instead of Lammers. Robert says, give the cape to Danilo. So that's how he can look like Batman with that mask on. Hate playing Sundays, prefer Saturdays, but understandably, obviously with midweek games, says Aldo. Depending on wages, Aldo, 15 cash, I'd maybe give him a new deal, but would still be looking to replace him as a starter. I think so. Yes, Aldo, another international break. How boring. Blue Nose John, here's his team for tomorrow. So Butland in goal, Tav, Goldson, Balogun, Ridvan, Cifuentes, Lundstrom, Cantwell, Danilo, and McCausland. That's his team there. Interesting, very similar to mine there. RRM says, I hope Cantwell doesn't get booked again tomorrow. He's actually making a habit of it. I think RRM, the problem with Cantwell is he gets a bit too carried away at times. He gets a bit too worked up at times. He gets a bit too over-enthusiastic, shall we say, and carried away and gets a bit headstrong. I think Philippe Clement needs to have a word with him, calm him down. And I think that's also where your players on the pitch come in. So that's where Tav and Goldson, and so, Ryan Jack, when he's playing, they've got to go over to him, put their arm around him and say, come on, Todd, calm down. Hurt them with your football. Don't start running around kicking people and pushing people. Hurt them with what you can do with the ball. And that's it. Albert says he wouldn't play Balogun with his knees on this pitch. Aldo says that Roof is stealing a wage. Absolutely. RFC 72 says, here's his team. Butland, Tav, Goldson, Davis. Would prefer Balogun, but injuries and plastic pitch. I suppose that's a good point, actually, RFC 72, and also a point that Alberts has made. Ridvan, Lundstrom, Sifu, McCausland, Cantwell, Seema, and Danilo. Again, very similar to my team from RFC 72. John's only got 10 in his team. I didn't think there was one missing, John. All the players look to have improved. They have, Robert. I think they have. I'd love to know what Michael Beale thinks of this team now. Because it's a different team. It's a different team. Roof needs to borrow Danilo's mask. He does. Ewan says, I would go with the same team as yourself, except Lawrence instead of Cifuentes, Owen. Absolutely. Decent. Yeah, I'll be happy with that. Aldo can't get over how good Butland is. I wouldn't say Roof is stealing a wage, but I would say Rangers dish out top money to players with a history of injuries. Yeah, I think you need to be a bit smarter. And hopefully that's something the new director of football, whoever that may be, can sort out. Not a problem with Roof, but he's injury prone. No point keeping him. I'll be honest with you. I cannot see Roof staying past the end of this season. I don't think Philippe Clement will suffer him any longer. I think Philippe Clement will get rid of him. I really do. I think if you listen to what Philippe Clement says about injuries and how he gets frustrated at the amount of injuries we seem to be getting, and the lack of fitness and the lack of strength and conditioning in the players, I genuinely think you will see Roof being got rid of at the end of the season. I think he is one of the players that he's probably getting very frustrated with. You've got Seema. Don't worry, buddy. Don't worry. We all do that. We all forget people are. I agree. Roof has it 2 games, then injured or on repeat, says Tam. He absolutely does. But again, tomorrow we win that. We win games in hand. We can put them under pressure. We can put them in a situation where, for once, they are looking over their shoulders. And we are, I think, becoming a team that can get back to what we used to do under Walter, what we used to do under Graham Souness, which is not just win 3 or 4, then have a bit of a moment of a draw or a loss. Win 14, 15, 16 games. Just become what Philippe Clement says he wants from this Rangers team, a relentless machine. He wants a relentless machine. And that's definitely what what we need, them to become a relentless machine that never ever quit, never ever stop, never ever give up, and just keep on churning out the results. And even if we don't play well, still keep churning out those results. Still get those 1-0, 2-1s when you're not playing well. That's what we need, a machine. But I think Clement is starting to turn them into that machine. The players haven't improved. They just understand what they're supposed to be doing now. As for tomorrow, I have no preference as long as we win. I like to see Zorro play 90 minutes, though. Talking about Danilo. Yeah, Danilo, I think it's getting to a point now where I think he plays 78 minutes, 78, 80 minutes on Thursday night, RRM. Yeah, 90 minutes. There's an international break coming up. Why not give him 90 minutes? Why not, see if he can do the full 90 minutes? Agreed. Absolutely agreed, RRM. Yeah, and I think part of it is down to the fact that the players now understand that there is a system, there is an identity, there is a structure, something that never was under Michael Beale. I mean, if you watched a game that Michael Beale coached, could you ever tell me at the end of that game, what were we meant to be doing? What was the system? Don't get it. By the way, guys, 69 of you watching at the moment, has been as high as 75, 80. Please smash the like. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, come and join, guys. It's free to join. And you get daily range videos, daily podcast, everything. That sub. Thank you very much. Is it worrying that we haven't missed Raskin? Says Carl. No, I suppose it's just a sign of a squad depth, mate. Look, you guys know that I follow NFL. I do a lot of NFL. In the NFL, they have a philosophy. It's called next man up. It's next man up. Okay, if someone gets injured, no matter who it is, if it's your star wide receiver, your star quarterback. Okay, quarterback is the main guy on a team. It's next man up. Next man steps up. And we don't miss them. Absolutely. Just focus on us, never mind them. Just focus games at a time, get performance and points, as Aldo. Yeah, in the way that's what Philippe Clement has said, isn't it? We focus, we take it a game at a time. Real Madrid are 2-0 up apparently against Valencia. Harry Kane scoring for fun in the Bundesliga. He is scoring for fun in the Bundesliga. Absolutely. Blue Nose says, I was listening to something interesting from Derek Ferguson. He thinks Big Phil will be good to his word and really get to the bottom of Roof's injury hell. If he can get to the bottom of Roof's and he can sort it out and actually get Roof fit, he'll be the first manager in Kemar Roof's career who has ever sorted that man out. Leeds fans loved Kemar Roof, but he was never, ever fit or fit enough. He scored great goals for Leeds. He scored a lot of goals for Leeds, but he never was fit for long enough. My dad's a Leeds fan. I've talked to him about him. And I have a very big soft spot for Leeds because my dad's family are all Leeds fans. Rodgers was expecting to be taking on Beale for a season or two. He wasn't expecting Gers to sack him and make his opposite number Mr. Clement. Absolutely. Aldo follows the NHL. Aldo, our big Pittsburgh Penguins fan, by the way. Missing Goldson for the next Europa game could be a worry, says Aldo. Aldo, you were right on that one, buddy, because look at it this way. Who have we got to come in? Michael Beale has left us in the shit, hasn't he, with the Europa League squad? In terms of the fact that Big John Suter, hopefully Big John Suter's fit, so Suter can start where Goldson would be. You've got Suter and Davis, but it doesn't give you a lot of depth there, does it? I suppose Lundstrom can fill in an emergency, or you can call up Leon King. But yeah, the fact that obviously Balogun's not able to play in the Europa League squad is obviously thanks to Michael Beale's stupidity. Any pressure on the other mob, they will turn on themselves like they always do. Agreed. I think the Flares will be out in full force tomorrow. Oh, God. Scottish government will be doing one about that. If Big Clem's Magic Wand could cure Roof's injury history, then it'd be a miracle. Yeah, he wouldn't be so much Harry Potter. He might be more like Saint Philippe, weren't he? What have we got here from RM? This is a sign of a good team is when they have the key players out, they still win and the performance doesn't drop. Next man up, RM. That's what we need in this team. Always next man up. Whoever we call up, whoever comes to play, plays at the same level. Could be a start for Leon King, says Ewan Minton. I think it's more likely to be John Suter if he's fit, though. New England Patriots are playing in Frankfurt tomorrow, Owen. Oh, don't mention those cheats to me, John. Don't mention those cheats to me. Beale picking his squad shows how stupid he is. Absolutely. Robert Robertson's got no faith in thing. Would be Lunny or King if Suter isn't fit. I'm hoping that Suter will be fit, though. I mean, Philippe Clement's just talked about the fact it's a minor injury. He's not in the Scotland squad, so at least he'll be back with us, and he'll be able to, get fit. And our medical staff, God help us, will be able to work on him. So, hopefully that'll be something that can help us develop and get him back to full fitness. Because I think Suter is a better defender when he plays where Goldson plays. I'm not saying he's better than Goldson, but I'm saying as a defender himself, he's more confident playing on the right than he is playing on the left because he's right-footed. So I think, having him back would be very, very good. Robert kind of true, but we need solid display at the back. But hopefully we can be on the counter-attack more often than defence. More chance of Ben E. King playing than poor Leon, says RM. I'd love to see the young players get more of a chance, RM. I really would. I'd love to see Bailey Rice, Zach Lovelace when he's fit in January, Cole McKinnon, guys like that get an opportunity to play. I really would love to see some of these guys get an opportunity to play. Thompson Ishaka be in the squad, Robbie Fraser, some of these guys. I mean, look, we've got to face it. Aris are not a good team, and they aren't going to be. They're not going to really threaten too much at Ibrox, on Thursday night. It is a game we should be winning. I mean, you look at what Real Betis did to them; they hammered them. Hopefully, we can do the same. Aldo says, anyone see Rangers FC drone footage today? It was amazing. Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic, Aldo. Brilliant. Great watch. If you haven't, go and check it out on Twitter, on X or Twitter or whatever it's called. Guys, anyone watching who hasn't subscribed, please hit that sub, and if you can smash the like for me on the way out. Well, tomorrow, guys, I'm going to go for Rangers 3, Livingston 0 as my prediction, 2 for Danilo and 1 for Seema. That is my prediction for tomorrow. 3-0 Rangers to go into the international break on a high. And I'm hoping the Sheep can do us a favour and get a draw against that lot from across the city. Well, guys, that is it for tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. Was more intrigued with Stacey at Edmiston House. Lol, says RFC72. Yeah, so was I. They were very nice girls. I just had to check, though, that they weren't like ridiculously young, because that would be awful. I'm not a Celtic fan. Okay. Anyway, guys, 2 things as I always need from you guys on the way out. Number 1, smash the like. And number 2, please never, ever forget this very important fact. The fact that keeps us all going at the end of the day. We are the people.